no telling what I just may do. I've been vibing, minding my business. Throw one up if you can relate to. Said if I ain't got it, I make do. Can't be stuck waiting on a breakthrough. And I don't need everybody praying for it. Ain't no telling who you niggas pray to.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to D's Corner. I am your host, D. We are jumping into our series of draft grades. We're going to do the NFC East this day, or today, I'm sorry. But, man, this draft was really crazy before we even get into it. Like, I feel like a lot of people had really good drafts. There's going to be some really, really tough divisions. We're going to kick into them, obviously, with our whole series. But after this, we're going to jump into the offseason grades as well as we kick into OTAs and mini camps and whatnot. So we're going to have a lot of stuff coming for you, especially as we get closer and closer to the season. Don't forget to check me out on the Double D's podcast as well, my bro Damien. We got some things popping off over there as well. He has a show, no nonsense. Excuse me, bro. No nonsense. But for all your FSU fans, make sure you guys tap in with my bro there as well. Shout out my boy Static on the intro. We're going to jump right into this, guys. Like I said, this is the NFC East draft grades. Overall, I feel like the NFC East, they had a pretty decent drafting. Nothing really too crazy for the most part. So, let's do a quick dive in. First up, we got the New York Giants. The New York Giants were actually, it was actually reported that they offered their first this year, which was the 6th overall, as well as their first next year, to move up with the Patriots. And their target was Drake May, believing that he was to be the next Josh Allen. So obviously that trade didn't work out, and they got the super explosive baby Jamar Chase, who many have named him Malik Neighbors at 6th overall. Neighbors is a phenomenal talent, man. He is going to be dynamic with the ball in his hands. He's going to score a lot of touchdowns. The only issue that I have is who is going to be throwing him the ball. Now there's reports that Drew Lock could possibly be the starter. So, Neighbors, I really feel for you, man. Doesn't look like you'll have the best rookie season, but we'll see how things work. They did strike gold when they went to LSU previously for wide receiver talent with OBJ. The second pick that they had was Tyler Nubin out of Minnesota. He's going to step right in and replace Xavier McKinney. If you look at this guy, I mean, he is a big safety who has range, has no problem playing deep, can come up, put his nose in the pile, not afraid of run defense, not afraid to fill the lane. So I really like their first 2 picks. To be honest, I really like their first 3 picks because Andrew Phillips is going to give you a pretty dynamic corner. He's going to be a feisty corner out of Kentucky, a SEC corner. Pretty good size, pretty good speed, and him and Newby should definitely start to form and shape this new Giant secondary. Theo Johnson was a pretty good pickup as well, especially since they don't know the future of Darren Waller, so you do have to prepare for that. And he's a pretty nice tight end, pretty athletic tight end as well. So for a team who did not have a lot of playmakers last year, who lost their main guy in Saquon, they did do something in the draft to accumulate a few playmakers. But again, the trigger man is going to hold this team back. This team will be picking in the top 10, possibly the top 5 next year. In my opinion, this is the NFC East bottom dwellers. But I do give their draft the overall of a B. They did make some very good picks. Like I said, I love their first 3 picks, and I really like Theo Johnson as well. They picked up Tyrone Tracy out of Purdue, as well as Darius Muwasua, a linebacker out of UCLA. Next up, we have the Dallas Cowboys. I give the Dallas Cowboys a B as well. Being able to trade back and still pick up Tyler Guyton is was an extremely good move for them, because they were not just one or two players away from being able to have a really solid roster. They do have a lot. We obviously know what they have had. We've all seen and heard the Jerry Jones and Dak Prescott nonsense. CeeDee Lamb is holding out. Michael Parsons could also possibly be holding out. So we'll have to see where all of those things go. But back to the draft, taking Marshawn Kneeland in the second round was not necessarily a bad pick in my mind. especially since I'm believing that they're going to be pushing to more of a traditional 4-3 under Zimmer. He can learn behind DeMarcus Lawrence, Sam Williams, as well as Micah. So now you lost Dorrance Armstrong, so this just kind of gives you that fourth body in the rotation. Love Cooper Beebe, who could possibly play. He'll possibly come in and be their starting center. He is a versatile offensive lineman. Him and Tyler Guyton should be able to uh, to wreak some havoc, especially opening up running lanes because they are very nasty. Now, I think Tyler Guyton will most likely shift to the left side next to Smith, but we'll have to see how that goes. Or does he stay on the right side and you try to do something with Terrence Steele? I'm not sure, but it does give you some form of offensive line versatility, being able to go at it. Ryan Flournoy should be able to help them out in the return game in a depth piece at wide receiver. Kalen Carson as well should be depth at in the secondary. The linebacker out of Notre Dame is more of a traditional linebacker, so we will be able to see bigger bodies. Maybe that allows the safeties that they moved up, maybe that allows them to move them back. So we'll see how that works. But overall, I give the Cowboys a B. I do not think that they will win the NFC East. I think they lost too much, and I think it's just too much commotion going around right now within the organization. Next up, we have the Washington Commanders, and in my opinion, this is an A. The Washington Commanders, they had some great value players. They brought some attitude players, some players who are really going to thrive in Dan Quinn's scheme defensively, as well as, like I said, the first player they took, Jaden Daniels, electric quarterback, can put the ball wherever he wants, is extremely fast. Now, he is slightly built, but now he has nothing to focus on but football, so we can see him possibly add some mass to his frame, especially as he matures a bit more. I think he's an older quarterback. Love the pickup of Johnny Newton, even though you do have Jared. You have Deron Payne and Jared Allen still in the middle. One of them could possibly be trade bait, being able to bring you more assets for next year, or you just have 3 defensive tackles that you can really move all around on that defensive front. Newton is a player who he has scheme versatility. He's not just a 300-pound guy that you're going to plug in the middle, but he does offer you some versatility. I don't think that the Commanders will be getting ran on like the Cowboys did under Dan Quinn. Mike Sanderstill, this is what I was talking about when it comes to attitude. Not sure if he'll play nickel. I'm pretty sure he'll be a nickel. Don't know if they'll try him more at nickel corner hybrid, nickel safety hybrid, or if he'll be strictly a nickel, or if they'll try to play him outside. But this guy is a attitude guy, was a leader on that Michigan national championship team, and should definitely bring some attitude and some dog to this Commanders team. Really good pickup. Love that pick for them. Ben Sinnott should also give young Jaden Daniels a security blanket with his tight end. This is somebody that is more of a traditional tight end. He does have sneaky speed. He's able to get deep and decent on his routes as well. Luke McCaffrey, Christian McCaffrey's little brother, who was a quarterback at Wisconsin, but transferred to Rice and became a wide receiver. So that just shows you the type of football player he can be for this team. So again, like I said, the Commanders, overall, I give them an A. And pretty soon, let's be honest, I could see this team coming in as number 2. Not this season, but Dallas, and with all the commotion, especially what is in front of Dallas, Commanders could be sneaking up. And finally, the Philadelphia Eagles, who in my opinion have been killing it all offseason, but had the best draft. The Philadelphia Eagles, you got to give them an A. Two of their first 2 picks were 2 of the top 4 or 5 best defensive backs. Darius Slay is getting older. James Bradbury got beat a lot. So now you bring in Quentin Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. Mitchell should probably come in and start or definitely compete with Bradbury. You still have Keely Ringo, Eli Riggs from last year. All 3 of these players Trying to make Bradbury expendable, especially since he was getting benched last year, closer to the playoffs and within the playoffs. Cooper DeJean should probably slot right in next to CJ Gardner Johnson at safety. Those two are very similar. DeJean is capable of playing outside corner. He's able to play nickel and he's able to play safety. He will also help you with the return team within the return game. Like I stated earlier or on a different video, there is a new kickoff rule. So this is going to be, you are going to see as we get into the draft grades and as you get into OTAs and into the preseason, you're going to see that all the NFL teams are trying to make sure they have at least one good return man. And when you look at this NFL draft here for the Eagles specifically, they have quite a few just in this draft alone. DeJean can return kicks, so can Will Shipley, as well as Aeneas Smith. I love the Jalix Hunt pickup. This kid was a safety his first year in college. He's learning to be an edge rusher, but now he has Brandon Graham, Josh Sweat, Bryce Huff, as well as Nolan Smith to learn from, so he can come along and kind of find and fill out a role first, possibly on passing downs early on as he grows into position and starts understanding and allowing the NFL to slow down for him. Will Shipley and Aeneas Smith, in my opinion, these are guys who are very similar to Saquon Barkley, more so Will Shipley than Aeneas Smith, but Smith is taking handoffs in the backfield from Texas A&M. He's returned kicks, he's returned punts, he's been a wide receiver. He'll work out of the slot. This is just going to give the Eagles another weapon. Someone else to get the ball out of Jalen Hurts' hands faster to let his playmakers make plays. Will Shipley should be able to spell Saquon, or they should have some nice packages with both of them on the field together. Obviously, you got to love the Jeremiah Trotter Jr. pick. It's been reported now that he will actually wear the number 54 that his dad wore. This is a position of need. Devin White is on a one-year deal. Nakobe Dean hasn't been panning out just yet. Plus, this is a legacy kid. His dad played there, so he knows the organization. The organization knows him, knows the family and everything. I want to see this kid develop and actually take the torch from his dad and start in another era of Trotter linebackers for the Philadelphia Eagles. The one pick that I really am intrigued by here is Johnny Wilson. Johnny Wilson is a 6'6" tight end with 4.5 speed, 230 pounds, or wide receiver, 6'6" wide receiver with 230 pounds, 4.5 speed. Obviously, at that height, he's not in and out of his breaks like a smaller wide receiver, but he is still a wide receiver. At the very least, you get a red zone threat for Jalen Hurts, but you also get someone, if he's unable to beat jam or work as a wide receiver, you can really use him in that frame as a big-bodied move tight end. So this just gives them even more. With Dallas Goedert being hurt the last 2 seasons and missing time, this actually is a pick where you don't have to call him a tight end, but you can actually work him in the slot as a move tight end, as an H-back, and as a wide receiver. So really, really, really like this draft for the Eagles. Obviously, the first 2 picks were killing it, but the picks that they made on offense really should open everything up for Jalen Hurts and the rest of this offense. I really, really, really like the NFC East draft. Everyone, in my opinion, came out winners. They came out better. They didn't go in as well as I would have hoped. Dallas specifically saying that they were going to be all in, but you haven't shown anything. So what are we going to do now? They went and signed Ezekiel Elliott. We'll see how that works out, but they did get some maulers on the offensive line. So again, you'll see. Pretty sure the Cowboys are going to cowboy it up. But again, that was the video for the draft grades of the NFC East. Please, 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 please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Again, I will be back. Be on the lookout for even more draft grades. We're going to do each division, then we're going to do the off-season winners and losers. Again, I can't stress this enough. Please like, share, and subscribe. Holla.
Spazzing on the beat, they think I'm crazy. Got it under control, babe. You don't want smoke, all you see is the same.
LB tapping, keys in making waves. Ayy.
Step back, keep your distance. Ain't no telling what I just may do. I've been vibing, minding my business. Throw one up if you can relate to. Said if I ain't got it, I make do. Can't be